Hi there muffins, it's Cherie and it's Saturday and I'm having to film this last minute because my husband's been home and he's asleep right now. So you get this natural face, you're welcome. So I thought what better time to do this collab than while I'm having my coffee and I'm a little bit sprier than usual. Julissa from Julissa Does Stuff is doing this collab with me and a whole bunch of other ladies on our favorite Trader Joe's items. This spoke to me because I love Trader Joe's. I really wish we lived near one. We're about an hour away from the closest one, so I don't get to go very often, but when I do, I try and stock up. So I only have a couple of things physically here with me, but I got a ton of favorites and I screenshotted pictures, so professional. So don't forget to check out all the other ladies down below and make a little list of goodies for you to go and try out at Trader Joe's. Let's jump into this because I've got way more than 10 and I want to tell you about them. So we'll start with the stuff that I physically have here. The first thing I want to tell you guys about is their seasonings. I feel like this is sort of like an easy one, but they have tons of seasoning options, and I didn't bring out any of the just basic seasonings because they have all of the ones that you can find in the store, like cinnamon and oregano and all that kind of stuff, but they also have these great mixes that are just amazing. If you're trying to diet and you want to like zest up your foods, these are great. If you have not heard about the everything but the bagel seasoning, get on it, girl. I put this on everything. I put it on cucumbers, I put it on cream cheese and bagels, I put it on chicken, I put it on my life. Deviled eggs, these are really good and I love it. I also really like this chili lime seasoning. This is delicious in guacamole if you're making guacamole. It's delicious on chicken breasts if you're going to grill them up. So I really love this stuff. And then I also grabbed this all-purpose seasoning salt. Again, this is great on meat and it's also delicious on potatoes and roasted veggies. So I love sprinkling this on for just a little kick of flavor when I'm trying to like zest up something healthy and convince my mind that it's a delicious pile of french fries. The next thing I'm going to talk about real quick because I got to put it back in my freezer. These are the chicken cilantro wontons. I'm sure that everyone has heard of these. They are super low points and they're freaking delicious. You get 4 wontons for 1 point. So you can get like 12 wontons. You can eat like this whole bag for like 9 points or something like that. Like, I mean, that's a lot of wontons, but it also, all you have to do is microwave them. I put them in soup. I serve them on the side of like fried rice with just some soy sauce. I just eat them plain. They're just delicious and they're so low point and they're really filling and you feel like you're eating like some Chinese food that might be a little bit bad, but you're being so good. So now let's jump into the items that I don't physically have on hand, but that when I do go to Trader Joe's, I usually stock up on. So the first one it's called the Cinnamon Schoolbook Cookies. They are little tiny letter cookies and they're cinnamon flavored and they're very basic and simple, but they're just so delicious. And you can get 15 cookies, I believe, is the serving, and it's only like 4 Smart Points. So I like to take these cookies and then I'll get 15 of them, you know, spell inappropriate words and have some tea. But no, they're really, really good. And they have like a sort of classic kind of graham crackery flavor, but better. And then just a lightly sweetened cinnamon. It's so good. You know I couldn't get through this video without mentioning some coffee. Trader Joe's has an amazing selection of coffee. I haven't tried them all. Usually when you go, they have little tiny samples of 2 different kinds usually that you can try out. So that's how I found this one. But this is the Bay Blend Dark Roast. I have been drinking this since I discovered Trader Joe's. It's one of their more expensive ones I consider, but you still get a pound of coffee. I think it's like 12 bucks or something like that. It might be more now. But when you open these beans, they're like shiny with delicious caffeine. And they have this smell that if you're a coffee lover, like it like hits you in the tingles and you're just like, it's so good. And it makes the most, it's a perfect balanced roast. It's not too dark and bitter. It's not too light. Me and my husband both agree on it, which is rare, and it's just freaking delicious. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know I am a lazy cook. I like to have things on hand at the ready, so I don't really have to think about a meal. I just want to like have it halfway done and then just cook the rest of it, or have it all the way done and just throw it in the microwave. That's why I really love their frozen food section. This item is frozen brown rice. It comes in a box with 3 individually packaged bags, which is enough for 2 servings, which is great for me and my husband, or if I want to go ahead and make it and then have it in the fridge the next day. You just pop it in the microwave and you have healthy, delicious brown rice at the ready. It's so good, it's so convenient, it's like perfectly cooked. You don't have to mess with your rice maker and wonder if you're doing it right. So I love this stuff. Also in the frozen food section, I think Chinese food has been one of my greatest challenges with Weight Watchers because I love Chinese food and I love Chinese takeout, and it's so hard to keep it points friendly and still delicious, but that's where Trader Joe's comes in. They have amazing options in their frozen section for low point, low calorie, delicious Chinese food. So this is technically, I guess, barbecue. I guess you could call it like Korean barbecue, but it's their barbecue teriyaki chicken. It comes with the meat in the bag and then the sauce on the side, so you can choose to put the sauce on and like marinate it up in there, or you can just dip it. It's tender, it's delicious. I love to serve it over the frozen rice, and it's super low points. I think half of the bag is like 8 points. I don't have it with me, so I can't remember the exact smart points, but I remember it being good enough for me to get that craving for Chinese food out of the way. So I definitely suggest you try it. It's so yummy, and it's not breaded, so it's just like seared chicken, so it's a little bit lighter than their fried chicken, orange chicken. It's also not spicy at all because I'm a giant weenie, so it's sweet. It's a sweet sauce, so your girl was happy. If you are a fan of alternative milks like nut milk, although is coconut a nut? It says it is. I don't know. I really love the Trader Joe's light coconut milk. It's lower in calories, but it's still thick and creamy. And because sometimes when you get a light coconut milk in a can, it's very watery, but this one is still very creamy. I love it to make my coconut curry. I like it in my coffee. It's really great to make some frozen desserts, and it's a lot lower points than regular coconut milk, so I usually get a couple cans of this just to have on hand whenever I go. The next item I want to tell you guys is let's get your mouth right, is their light whole wheat bread. Picture. I discovered this stuff when I started Simply Filling because I went through and scanned like everything at Trader Joe's to see what was Simply Filling, and this bread is in fact Simply Filling. What I like about it is it's a light bread, much like the 35 calorie bread, but it's dense. When you get the light 35 calorie breads that are Simply Filling and 1 Smart Point a slice, they're just they're very flimsy, so I feel like they don't hold up to a sandwich, and when toasted, when you put the butter on, they're just kind of airy, like too airy. But this wheat bread is dense enough to where I can get that toast crunchy mouthfeel, and I can totally stack it up with a sandwich. Again, I'm pretty sure it is 1 Smart Point per slice, and it is Simply Filling. It could be 2, but I don't have the bag to scan. But when I was doing Simply Filling, that's one of the things I picked up at Trader Joe's, and I was so thankful I did. This item is not for the faint of heart. Proceed with caution. So I love little crackeries, and Trader Joe's has lots of mini crackers that are great for points because you can get a lot of mini crackers for a serving size. These are the roasted gorgonzola crackers. And they look like little stop signs, and they have this really strong, salty, blue cheesy kind of taste. They're delicious in tomato soup. I love to have them by themselves. I think you can have like 31 crackers or something ridiculous for like 4 points. And because they're a stronger cracker, I feel like they really squish down that like salty craving, because I can get so many and I feel so like I'm snacking a lot, but I'm really not. So they're super points friendly, really delicious, and really good mixed in with stuff. And the last diet-friendly item I'm going to mention before my bonus items is their chunky guacamole. I was a little bit about this when I saw it in the store because I usually don't like pre-mixed guacamoles. They taste weird to me, and this one has Greek yogurt in it, so I was like, no. But when we brought that thing home, me and my husband ate like the whole container in a weekend, and it's so low points that it didn't affect us. So you can have 2 tablespoons for 1 Smart Point. That's great for guacamole. It really gives you that guacamole avocado taste on your food without all the avocado points. And it's mixed with Greek yogurt, which is a healthy dairy. I consider a healthy dairy. So we usually buy like 3 of them, and then I portion them out into little, 2 people servings and freeze them, and then just pull them out and let them sit for a little bit before we eat dinner. and then that way they're always on hand, because the one bad thing about it is when you open it, it's just like an avocado. You got to eat it within like 2 days or the whole thing goes brown. So I just freeze it and it works fine. So I also wanted to include some non-food items and maybe not low point items that are just my favorite from Trader Joe's. I didn't want to do a whole bunch of non-diet ones, but this is my favorite non-diet item from Trader Joe's that I haven't gotten in so long, but it just speaks to my soul. But they have this stuff called pub cheese. And it's so good with their crackers, with their little mini crackers. So I don't know the points on it. It's probably 1,000,000, but it's like a cheddar cheese spread, but it's a little bit seasoned. It's kind of like Cheese Whiz, I guess, but better. It's so good. We can't bring it in the house. That's how good it is, because me and my husband both will be like, cheese dip. But it's so delicious. If you are not on a diet, or if you're looking to splurge on some cheesy cheese, that's the one to do it on. And lastly, I wanted to mention that if you have not checked out their health and beauty section, you really should. They have a huge array of vitamins and oils and stuff that are super low priced and still good quality. 2 of my favorite things are their lotions. I have this everyday body lotion. I have like 4 of these. I have one in like every room. It's my favorite lotion. It's very mildly scented. You can hardly smell it at all, but it's very moisturizing but not greasy. And then their body butters are my jam. I saw this around Christmas time, so it was like a little 3-pack of body butters. It has 3 different sniffs, and they're just little tins, but they do sell a giant tub of their body butters. And if you're wanting a really moisturizing, silky, like nighttime, super moisture body butter that's not very expensive, definitely check out their section, because it's so good. So those are all, or some, or most of my Trader Joe's favorites. Let me know down below what your favorites are if I didn't mention them in this video, and be sure and go and check out everyone else who's jumped up in this collab, because I'm sure I'm going to be making lists too. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!